What's up everybody, it is Genesis Gaming bringing you a guide for Stormveil Castle. This guide will include all major loot and questlines. I did not make this a one smooth take, so pardon the transitions. Starting off with the main gate side of Grace, we enter to find Gostoc. If you're just starting out, I suggest you take his advice and sneak around. However, do yourself a favor and have him open the gates anyway. It will make activating God's Great Rune later much easier. From here, it is a straightforward path with some minor loot. As mentioned before, I will only be calling out the major loot, such as unique weapons, talismans, key items, etc. Follow the path forward to find a site of grace. There will be a bird with blades for feet nearby, so be careful. We should now be at the Stormhawk cliffside side of grace, and we'll continue along the fairly obvious path forward. The guy up ahead will blow his horn to alert the other soldiers if you are seen, so take him out from a distance or sneak up behind him so he doesn't alert the others. There is a marred leather shield halfway up the stairs, so be sure to quickly grab that on your way up. After dealing with the soldiers, head back behind the stairs to find a larger XL soldier, deal with him, and in the corner will be the Hookclaw weapon. Double back now and head up the stairs. Really quick, if you find guides like this helpful, leave a like and subscribe so I know I should keep making these for all of you. Be careful up ahead as the servants will be throwing fire grenades that will explode all these red barrels. You can roll through them to quickly destroy them and dodge potential damage. If you haven't already beaten the main boss for this area and Gostoc is still alive, which I recommend you don't kill him. I repeat, do not kill Gostoc. He is important for a questline later, and you get a good item from him. However, Gostoc will lock you in here with a Banished Knight that can be quite troublesome to defeat. However, we still need to enter this room as there is a rusted key in the back and the curved sword talisman in a chest in the rear. After looting both items, head back out the door and to the right. Drop down to the floor below and use the rusted key to open a previously locked door. From here, take a right and platform onto the ledge in the right hand corner. This will take you onto a balcony where we will head left, defeat an exiled soldier, and in the room just past him you will find the brick hammer. I apologize, it's not one, but two exiled soldiers. Another one's coming out the door very shortly. Make your way back to the top of the ladder that was behind the locked door, and this time we'll be taking a left instead of a right. From here, just follow the general path forward, and you'll eventually come to a tower with a side of grace inside. There will be a Banished Knight, which as previously mentioned can be quite troublesome early game, so proceed with caution. Also, there is a silver pickled Foulfoot, not necessarily major loot, but still pretty good to have all the same. You should now be at the Rampart Tower side of Grace. There are a few different routes you can take from here. I will try to guide you to all the loot with minimal backtracking, but there's gonna be a little bit, so I do apologize. After exiting the room, you'll come to a rooftop with more of those Talon Blade Hawks. You can sprint past them, and we're gonna jump off the north side of this outcropping. From here, carefully traverse the edge of the castle wall, and you will find a marred wooden shield. Continue downward and jump onto a ledge, and then onto another ledge that will break away. Don't worry, this one for some reason does not kill you. There are a few ledges like this in Elden Ring. They're few and far between. I don't understand the logic. Don't worry about it. But down here you will find a silver teardrop scarab that will gift you the Storm Assault Ash of War once defeated. I suggest use any and all buffs you may have, as you're about to face a Crucible Knight. If you haven't fought these guys before, they are incredibly challenging. Once defeated, you will be rewarded the aspect of the Crucible Horn's incantation. There aren't any enemies left down here, so continue forward along the path to find a lift that will take you back up to the Rampart Tower side of Grace. Now that we're back at the Rampart Tower side of Grace, heal up and we will now double back and continue up the tower. While ascending, there are a couple exiled soldiers. You will eventually come to an open area on the rooftop that has about 10 of them or so. Deal with them all to make the next platforming section even easier. Once it is safe to do so, make your way to pile of sandbags in the northeast corner. Climb along the railing to the right and around the corner of this building. Platform across to the building with the roof missing and parkour your way down. When you exit through the window there is a stronger warhawk, so be careful. On the opposite side of the roof is the Dozing Cross-Legged emote. This warhawk did drop its talent from me, but this is not a guaranteed drop. Once you have acquired the emote, take a left and walk to the building with a broken pillar, allowing you to climb further up. Make your way up and around the railing to another balcony area. There will be a few enemies here with crossbows. I recommend taking them out before climbing the ladder. Once you have safely ascended the ladder, you will find the Claw Talisman. After acquiring the Claw Talisman, make your way back down the ladder and safely descend to the alleyway below. Once at the bottom, you will notice a Great Fog Wall. This is locked behind a stone imp statue. Use a stone sword key to enter. Once inside, you will find two of the larger axe-wielding exile soldiers, as well as a Hawk Crest Wooden Shield, Iron Whetblade, and Misericorde Dagger. I probably said that wrong, but you know what I mean. Now that we have looted this room, make your way back out the way we came and enter the room on the right. There will be a Grafted Scion, which is the same as a starter boss, so be careful, they can be incredibly difficult to defeat. Once you have defeated him, make your way to the Portrait of Godfrey to find the Highland Axe. As you're facing the portrait, take a right and eliminate the fodder enemies in the room. Make your way up the stairs and you'll enter a dining room with one of the banished knights. Either defeat him or sneak around to the chest on the right side of the wall to claim the Mimic Veil. Once you've claimed your reward, exit the room through the door on the right. You will see a pile of corpses below with a few dogs and an item on it. Defeat the dogs to claim your reward. If Rogier is not in the round table hold, you will find the Chrysalids Memento. Return this to Rogier in the hold to receive a golden seed. If she is already there, then you will find the Crimson Hood in its place. Leave this area by taking the door on the northern side. We will now be back in the room where the grafted sign was earlier. Make your way towards the portrait of Godfrey and take a left instead of a right. Make your way through the room straight ahead and you will find an open courtyard with a ton of enemies waiting for you. I honestly recommend just sprinting through here and grabbing the side of Grace in the room at the opposite side, but the choice is yours. Also, quick tip, I recommend removing all your emotes and playing offline so you don't accidentally emote or read a message while trying to rest in a hurry. Returning one last time to the Rampart Tower side of Grace, follow my path to locate Rogier in a church. He will sell you a few magic-based Ashes of War. However, if you decide not to visit him, he will still be in the Round Table hold once you have defeated the main boss of Stormveil Castle. This is also an alternate route to get to the room with the Grafted Silent to access the next side of Grace.
Nice to meet you, please.
Now we return to the left side chamber side of Grace, which was across the courtyard of the enemy soldiers. Taking the exit to the east, we will make an immediate right. Come to the edge and loot the body for a smithing stone, then drop down to the balcony below. You will take a little fall damage, but you'll be fine. Carefully platform the rest of the way down to the floor below, either run past or defeat the rats here. Around the corner here, you will find a blue tier drop scarab. Defeat it to receive the Rancorcall sorcery. Now continue forward until you drop down to a large room that looks an awfully lot like a boss arena, and that's because, well, it is a boss arena. An ulcerated tree spirit will appear shortly. If you haven't dealt with one of these guys before, they have a very sporadic movement pattern and can be very difficult to deal with early game. Once defeated, you will receive a golden seed. Continue to the south to find a second open room. Don't worry, there aren't any enemies here. Instead, you will find the head of Godwin the Golden. Nearby, there will be Rogier's Bloodstain. I do believe this only appears after you have defeated the boss of the area, but I could be wrong. And on a corpse nearby, you will also find the Prince of Death's Pustule Talisman. There is an incredibly long ladder nearby that basically just takes you back to the room with the portrait of Godfrey. So instead, we're going to fast travel back to the left side chamber side of Grace. Now that we're back at the side of Grace, we're going to make our way out to the courtyard and stick to the western wall. The first room we enter will have the prophecy painting. If you don't know, there are 7 paintings throughout the lands between. You need to find the location where you can see the scene in the painting to claim the reward. Go ahead and exit and continue forward, sticking close to the wall as previously mentioned. There will be a stairway leading down to a room with a few rats and a fog wall. Defeat them and use a stone sword key to deactivate the fog wall. There is some minor loot you can pick up, so feel free to clear out this courtyard at your convenience. Through the fog wall, you'll find two chests. The one on the left contains the Godslayer seal, and the one on the right contains the Godskin cookbook. The exit to the south takes you back to the beginning of the castle if you chose to go through the gate once Gostoc opened it. As of right now, there's no real reason to go this way. Instead, we'll go back up the staircase and make our way through the courtyard. Make your way to the center of the courtyard to loot a pike, and then sprint to the wooden shelter to the northeast, defeat the exiled soldier, and loot the Wooden Greatshield. After looting the shield, from here we will now stick to the eastern wall and make our way north. You should now be on the same side that the lift side chamber side of Grace was on. Heal up if you need to, if not, continue eastward and be prepared to deal with some warhawks. There is some minor loot in this area, but nothing incredibly important. Continue forward through the barricade, sticking to the wall on the right hand side, to discover a room with Nepheli Loux. Interacting with her here isn't necessary for the questline, however it will allow you to summon her to assist with defeating the main boss of the area.
You are a fine warrior. Your only takes us to the throne of Elden Lord.
Once you have exhausted our dialogue, exit the room and make an immediate right. You should see an Erd tree sapling with a golden seed below it. Be sure to loot that, especially earlier game, you probably need all the flasks you can get. Just up ahead, you will see a troll with two exiled soldiers. You can defeat them or just run by them. There is a site of grace through the hallway in a room on the right hand side. The secluded cell site of grace is the final site of grace I will mention in this guide. From here, exit the hallway through the opposite doorway headed to the southwest. There will be a silver teardrop scarab that drops a Stormcaller Ash of War upon defeat. Continue forward to find a few smaller living jars and one bigger jar. Defeat them and loot the two cracked pots found nearby. After defeating all of the jars, turn around and search the path on the left hand side. Pick up the kukri on the body if you want, and then parkour across the railing and around the outer wall of this room. From here, take the door on the right through a storage room and you'll be on the upper level of the room previously filled with jars. Take a left and head west towards another door, loot any of the minor items along the way that you see fit. Through this door, you'll find a number of servants. Defeat them if you wish, as they can quickly outnumber you if you aggro too many of them. At the bottom of this room, you'll find the Manor Towershield. This is the last of the major loot for this dungeon, excluding a couple of items that you get when heading to Limgrave's Divine Tower. From here, you can warp back to the secluded cell side of Grace, or continue along this path to open a door that leads back to the lift side chamber side of Grace. The choice is yours. Skip forward about a minute if you want to just meet me back at the secluded cell side of Grace for one final tip. Now that we're back at the secluded Cell-Sided Grace, head toward the boss fog. If you interacted with Nepheli Loux earlier, you should see a golden summon sign just before the fog. Go ahead and summon her and prepare for one final battle. This concludes the guide for Stormveil Castle and Elden Ring. If you found this guide helpful, leave a thumbs up, subscribe for more Elden Ring content, and GG everyone.